Get ready for an unforgettable experience at the Midwest Fire Weekend from August the 1st to the 4th. Join us as we bring together all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians under one banner for 4 days of powerful brotherhood and sisterhood.
I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I'll pop out like I'm Samuel. I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it. Got it out.
Day 1 kicks off with the Roundtable with Truth podcast featuring Captain of 13,000 Milwaukee. Also, we will be having a breakfast and sip event at 12355 Gratiot Avenue, Detroit, Michigan. Then, we will be having scripture breakdown with none other than 12 Shield General Muhammad from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Then later, we will be having game night. On August the 2nd, we will be having a street teaching and a food and clothing giveaway at the Detroit Transit Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Then you can join 13 Shield Commanding General Yohana for a powerful discussion. Are demons real and are they among us? From 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. After that, we will be having late night activities at our bar on 21530 Gratiot Avenue. On August the 3rd, we will be visiting the Charles H. Wright Museum from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And join us at the Action Impact Gun Range from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. We having an album release party at Flood Bar and Grill for none other than Captain of 13,000 of Pied Operatic. Then, last but not least, we will be having the 7th annual Midwest Barbecue at Chandler Park from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. This is not like any other barbecue you ever been to. Bring your children, bring your family and friends. It's free food and it's a safe environment. Also, get you a room at our hotel for special rates. Book now for a comfortable stay close to all of the action.
Purchase your tracks today.
Support the Midwest Fire Weekend by donating to our GoFundMe. Visit the GoFundMe link in the description or scan the QR code to make a difference.
Boston, it made niggas regroup. Had to shed light on the false image. UPK hold the court. Now who the fuck won scrimmage to?
We're getting ready to have a Midwest Fire Weekend.
Then the Isupk Chicago coming at you once again to let you know about the Midwest Fire Weekend.
Came to speak to you about some events we're having in Detroit, Michigan. Fire Weekend, Thursday, August 1st to Sunday, August 4th.
Inviting all single Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians to our Midwest Fire Weekend.
And you know what it is. It's that time of the year again. It's the Midwest Fire Weekend, hosted by Captain 13,000 Milwaukee, August 1st through the 4th.
Isupk, Kentucky, here to invite every so-called Black, Hispanic, and North American Indian to the Midwest Fire Weekend, Detroit, Michigan, August 1st through the 4th.
Tune into the Midwest Fire Weekend from August 1st to the 4th.
Don't miss out on this incredible event. Join us for the Midwest Fire Weekend from August the 1st to the 4th. Visit www.isupk.com or scan the QR code for more information.
General Thunderbar, 6 here. Right now, we at the Feast of Unleavened Bread. I'm with my main man, Captain Bon Month. And he was telling me about Paul's policy. Paul's policy. And you know, we just had all it's about how the earth makes it uncomfortable for men to be just openly masculine and straight. Why? Because so much alternative lifestyle being pushed out here, making us uncomfortable. Right. So that Paul's policy is just our way of standing our ground against the oppression that movement puts on us as being straight men with love women. In other words, they're trying to make us feel the same about loving women, married women, just being a man. So they try to make us feel that's what we need. We need that in the black community. Check it out. I'm the Bar Mom, and I support the Paul's policy. I definitely support it. This is General Thunderbar. Yo, Isupk, I'm the Commander General Yaha.
I'm Captain Condesire, letting you know we support the pause policy. All that gay shit, no Diddy. You heard?
My name is Captain Ariah, coming to you live from North Carolina, and I support the pause policy.
I am jumping on the squad. I support the community. We're there about the name. Support the cause. Check us out. You know, the round table trail. We're looking heavy with information about supporting the cause. Shalom.
Pause policy is in full effect. No thing, my niggas. You already know. You know what they say.
Pando killed the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all don't speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans get locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died, y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew, you a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum, a gun thou would die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth. I had to make it clear how Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947. Your menorah got 9 sticks. It's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world. Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs, bunch of thieves and culture vultures ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you litter. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. You BK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard, they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil who is, I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he give them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'll punch you in person. I know that's an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ, they the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas, they're a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth, niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4, I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Now you got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are. Even when Moses came to get the children of Israel, right? Came to get the children of Israel, he still had to tell them, God is going to build you a place flowing with milk and honey. And they had to fight their own soul to have enough faith to get there. And many of us died. Many of us died in our lack of faith, our lack of right or wrong. Many of us died, never holding on with enough strength to the Father to say, I'm committed and I'm not turning back. But the ones that did, they went into the kingdom of heaven. They watched miracles happen. They watched the nation be born out of the ground where it was impossible to do. The terror, when you read them scriptures, man, and you read the terror that was on those Israelites when that Egyptian army came down after them, that Egyptian, and they do just what people do. They do just what people do. The minute that Egyptian army came down on them, they turned their back on them.
Northeast Ohio.
What's going on, Israel? You understand? Tune in to Ton of Pressure podcast with my man, Captain Dabar Ahmad. You understand? Get busy. You understand? The best is yet to come. ISUBK.
It's Captain 13,000, the card of a rhyme with the ISUBK, letting you know, man, check out the Tons of Pressure podcast straight out of Milwaukee under Captain Dabar Ahmad. The 5 podcasts, man, coming out that side of the country. Tons of pressure, man, going through the hottest topics, unifying the blacks and Hispanics, man. Shalom.
No, come on, man. I needed that on camera. Ton of pressure. You say ton of pressure. I think that's what I tell my ribs. You want a ton of pressure, 2 tons of pressure, 4 tons of pressure, the type of pressure you want. But if you want that real pressure on the scriptures, on them breakdowns, on current events, make sure you tune into the Ton of Pressure podcast live on YouTube. They doing it weekly, they doing it daily, they doing it monthly. If you want the baddest information you can find, make sure you tune in to Ton of Pressure.
You need to tune into the hottest, best podcast on the planet right now. A whole ton of pressure. A ton of pressure every Sunday at 5 p.m. Tune in. You're going to hear some of the best topics, the best conversation coming out right now on the internet. Shalom.
All jokes aside, you know how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life, this and that for life. I'm always for life, nigga. This a blood oath. Hey, yo, Mother, here go a class for you, my nigga. 140 for the rebel.
The world turned its back on me. I'm a crippling. We got soldiers, he got soldiers, but I got different ones. Ain't no way out, I tell you once. Don't pray for nothing, sin and curse. We can't forgive what's forbidden. Remain in them trenches. trust in the Lord. Oh, please, forgive me for the times that I did. If rank is given, have your respect to your apprentice. Be about your business. This loyalty's a death sentence. Look, trying to pick up with a blind fit. They said there'll be many mansions. I'm just grinding for my time share. Them devils ain't playing fair. They hunt you like bad pal. But ain't no getting out the game like Jumanji. You take that offense to Dundee. They try to deal death to a priest. You won't make it out in one piece. So you can stand. Just make sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times and it's death do us part. Look. So how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't the like you think, little nigga. I should want. Even your own people go this zone. And the Lord said they hate you for my name. So you better keep it on. Ain't no more guessing. Ain't no more questions. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George Jetson. Murder for capital, now it's murder at the Capitol. The world in amazement, we like fuck 'em, raise it. I pity those watching life as it goes by. Be giving mercy in this life, I don't know why. And pump smoke, never try to. The dead at home, my brother be the dead, it's all I don't. In the photo, salute my nigga, salute my nigga. They like, how you stay focused? I told him I'm motivated cause of you, my nigga. Brotherhoods and weapons, still got weapons on the scene. And I never do my niggas like Bishop did Raheem. Never mind in all beliefs, they under anesthesia. Shorty say she need me, said she wanna let that love go. Told I let that love grow. But if I bring you to my bed, that's a blood. So, how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should want. Even your own people go this zone. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Yeah, yeah.
Even when Moses came to get the children of Israel, right? He came to get the children of Israel. He still had to tell them, God is going to build you a place flowing with milk and honey. And they had to fight their own soul to have enough faith to get there. And many of us died. Many of us died in our lack of faith, our lack of, right or wrong. Many of us died never holding on with enough strength to the Father to say, I'm committed and I'm not turning back. But the ones that did, they went into the kingdom of heaven. They watched miracles happen. They watched the nation be born out the ground where it was impossible to do. The terror, when you read them scriptures, man, and you read the terror that was on those Israelites when that Egyptian army came down after them, that Egyptian, and they do just what people do. They do just what people do. The minute that Egyptian army came down on them, he turned their back on them.
Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said, let him cook.
Hey, Shalom, Captain DeBar, Isupk Milwaukee, letting you know we got classes every week, 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. So Monday, that's going to be the history class taught by Officer 50 Kananya. Wednesday, that'll be the captain's breakdown class for the officers here. That'll be on Wednesday. And on Saturday, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., is the Sabbath service class by yours truly, Officer of 1,000 among the bar. So, other than that, every other day, class starts at sundown. Call Isupk Milwaukee for all the information. If you need counsel, request it. Shalom.
I'm Officer Zaquan, 5,000, and I'm here with John. Yeah. Well, in the news, he did say Milwaukee was a horrible city.
Okay.
So how do you feel about it?
I don't really give a shit what Donald Trump says.
Yeah.
So nothing.
Okay. And my second question would be, so do you think we should charge the leaders that run Milwaukee we should charge them for making Milwaukee a horrible city.
How would you charge them? What do you mean, like monetarily, or like?
Okay, so of course, we put people in positions of authority,
right,
to run the city.
Sure.
So if they're not doing a good job, you know what I'm saying, running the city, don't you think we should put someone else in office or someone to do a better job than what they're already doing?
Sure, but look, the people put people in office.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, how it's supposed to work anyway, is that the people are in charge of how shitty the city is or not. It's the people doing it. If you don't like how somebody's running it, you know, the people have to vote somebody else in.
Okay.
So I mean, at the end of the day, how it's supposed to work, which I know it doesn't always, is the people are in charge of this country.
Yeah.
We pick who is in office and who therefore is in charge of us.
Okay.
So it's our responsibility to pick the leaders who we want.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Sure.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right, shalom. Isupk Milwaukee here. You got the brother, your name again?
David. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you again. AG. So we just checking with the community. So recently, Donald Trump was allegedly saying that Milwaukee is a horrible city in the context of voting registration and the voting system in our city and the crime rates. How do you feel about what he said about our home?
I feel like he was incorrect. Milwaukee's a great place to live.
Yeah.
There's all types of people here, and I would not want to live anywhere else.
I love 100%. That. I agree with that too.
Yeah.
And I understand that we got some issues to deal with. The poverty, the drug epidemics, the homelessness, the crime rate. But who do you think should be held responsible to fix our city here?
The people that live here. We should come together to fix it ourselves. I mean, we're the ones that are here. This is my home. I want it to be a great place to live for everyone.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the newer mayor, Cavalier Johnson?
A little bit.
Yeah. Have you noticed any difference between his administration and Barrett's administration?
Nothing that I can know, but I don't pay attention all that much. But yeah.
But it doesn't really seem like conditions have gotten any better, or maybe even worse in the city.
I would say maybe a little bit worse, but you know, that's just because from my own perspective, but not everyone has that same experience.
Right.
Yep.
All right, that's what's up, David. I appreciate your time, man.
Nice meeting you guys.
Good to meet you.
You guys have a great day.
Isupk Milwaukee. We're here with a sister. Your name, please?
Tierra.
Tierra, good to meet you, sis.
Nice to meet you.
Wanted to ask you real quick. So Donald Trump was recently allegedly caught saying behind the scenes that Milwaukee is a horrible city in the context of voting, registration, and the process of it, and the crime rates in Milwaukee. How do you feel about the conditions in Milwaukee? Do you agree with Donald Trump's statement?
I think Milwaukee is going through some things right now, and we do need a change. We need a change with the mayor, and some of our leaders need to step up and make that change.
Now, our current mayor, Cavalier Johnson, younger in office versus Tom Barrett. Have you noticed any of the differences in how they run their offices?
Actually, I have not, no.
Nothing's really changed, better or worse in the city?
Not to me, no. Not really. Just a little bit. There's been a couple things that have changed a little bit, but not as much as I've seen. I don't really live here in Milwaukee. I live kind of in the outskirts.
Okay.
So I don't really see a lot of the things that you guys are going through as much as I hear about, or the change that is happening as much as I don't see it face value because I don't live in Milwaukee.
I got you. Has it reached to the outskirts where you guys are living?
No, it has not, unfortunately, no.
It does seem to be kind of contained in a bubble in the inner city.
It does, yes.
Whereas on the outskirts in the suburbs, a whole different demographic.
Whole different demographic. Things are not hitting it like it is.
How do you feel about the topics of segregation versus integration in our city?
I don't think that we need to be segregated as a city. I think we should be able to come together and work together and be unified together.
You think integration has hurt the community bonding of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians?
I don't know about that.
Okay. Yeah. I understand you.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
All right, I appreciate your time. Next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Leia Shala. Amadium, which means stand. So then you're going to read in English. Get that? Okay. Upon Yakudam, turn to face the east. It's the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. You find it in Matthew chapter 6, verse 8 through 13. Nabanaw.
Abanaw.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kudash.
Kudash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakutka.
Malakutka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Ratazaka.
Ratazaka.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Ba'aratazah.
Ba'aratazah.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Bashemayim.
Bashemayim.
Latandanaw.
Latandanaw.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Call.
Call.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalaknanaw.
Wasalaknanaw.
Kabawatnaw.
Kabawatnaw.
Kasalaknaw.
Kasalaknaw.
Kabawatnaw.
Kabawatnaw.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Tabi'anaw.
Tabi'anaw.
Banasawan.
Banasawan.
Abal.
Abal.
Hawashanaw.
Hawashanaw.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Right.
Right.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Malakwa.
Hamalakwa.
Wa'al.
Waha'ala.
Hata Pa'ara.
Wahata Para.
La'ulamyu.
La'ulamyu.
Aman.
Aman. In English. Our Father.
Our Father.
Which art in heaven.
Which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts.
Give us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
Lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it. Prayer for the Hakak, the power in Hebrew. Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Baba Kusha.
Baba Kusha.
Latandanaw.
Latandanaw.
Hakat.
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 La Rapa'ah.
La Rapa'ah.
Call Makala.
Call Makala.
Wakal Madawa.
Wakal Madawa.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Hamatazarain.
Hamatazarain.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Lahakwi.
Lahakwi.
Hamathi.
Hamathi.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Arawakat.
Arawakat.
Hatama'ala.
Hatama'ala.
Garsham.
Garsham.
Bashim Yahushua.
Bashim Yahushua.
Wadaman.
Wadaman. In English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness.
The power to heal all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. Pray to bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Baraklanaw.
Baraklanaw.
Bayashala.
Bayashala.
Wahabaya.
Wahabaya.
Sapari.
Sapari.
Barak.
Barak.
Shem Yahushua.
Bashim Yahushua.
Wadaman.
Wadaman. In English. Lord.
Lord.
In the name of Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua.
Yahweh in the name of Yahushua.
Bless us. And Israel.
Bless us and Israel.
And the school.
And the school.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha.
Asha.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahahari.
Ahahari.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Yaba'a.
Yaba'a.
Azari.
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 Ma'ain.
Ma'ain.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Baratazah.
Baratazah.
Ayathan.
Ayathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Ajalka.
Regal.
Al Yanawam.
All Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'a.
La'a.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yashal.
Yashal.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazal.
Aliyah.
Aliyah.
Yamyika.
Yamyika.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Ashamash.
Ashamash.
La'a.
La'a.
Kaka.
Kaka.
Wa'irak.
Wa'irak.
Walayala.
Walayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Yashimar.
McCall Rock.
McCall Rock.
Yashimar.
Yashimar.
Asnapash.
Asnapash.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashimar.
Yashimar.
Tazaf.
Tazaf.
Wabawak.
Wabawak.
Maita.
Maita. Why? Awalam. In English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord.
Which made heaven and earth.
Made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee.
Will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Yasharallah.
He that keepeth Yasharallah.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Adam Yalaka.
Adam Yalaka.
Al Tacharat.
Al Tacharat.
Wal Tashakwat.
Wal Tashakwat.
Al. Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Awabika.
Awabika.
Yahami Yawan.
Yahami Yawan.
Wamashan Slaki. Wamashanayika.
Wamashanayika.
Sha'awa Ra'ash.
Sha'awa Ra'ash.
Al Aimuka.
Al Aimuka.
Ya'ariyamu.
Ya'ariyamu.
Sawa.
Sawa.
Wayay Slaki. Wayat Taya Itazawa.
Wayat Taya Itazawa.
Altazapawanyika.
Altazapawanyika.
Amaru.
Amaru.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakidam.
Wanakakidam.
Magawi.
Magawi.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Shamya Sha'al.
Shamya Sha'al.
Awa.
Awa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa Itazawa.
Nawa Itazawa.
La.
La.
Yakhad. It's like Yakhadwa.
Yakhadwa.
Ayika.
Ayika.
Baya.
Baya.
Yakarath.
Yakarath.
Ahalia.
Ahalia.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Waya Shemai Aliyam.
Waya Shemai Aliyam.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Wahagari.
Wahagari.
Ball.
The ball.
Wa'amuwan.
Wa'amuwan.
Wa'amala.
Wa'amala.
Palashat.
Palashat. Amishat.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Yamashuwa.
Damashuwa.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Imam.
Ayawa.
Ayawa.
Zarwa.
Zarwa.
Banyan.
Labanyan.
Lawat.
Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Laham.
Laham.
Kamadi.
Kamadi.
Kasiyah Sarah.
Kasiyah Sarah.
Kayabi.
Kayabi.
Banakal.
Banakal.
Koyashwan.
Koyashwan.
Nashamaru.
Nashamaru.
Bayanda Arab.
Bayanda Arab.
Ayawa.
Ayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
Ladam.
Ladam.
Shartam.
Shatam.
Nadaya Muwa.
Nadaya Mawa.
Kaira.
Kaira.
Wakazaba.
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 Wakatazalmanai.
Wakatazalmanai.
Kalna Sarkamu.
Kalna Sarkamu.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amaru.
Amaru.
Nairusha.
Nairusha.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Nawa.
Nawa.
Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Shaytamu.
Shaytamu.
Tagalgala.
Tagalgala.
Quats.
Quats.
Lapanya Ramka.
Lapanya Ramka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Tabaira Yairu.
Tabaira Yairu.
Wakalahaba.
Wakalahaba.
Talahat.
Talahat.
Haryam.
Haryam.
Kantar Damu.
Kantar Damu.
Basaira.
Basaira.
Wabasa Wapaka.
Wabasa Wapaka.
Tabalaham.
Tabalaham.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Palawan.
Palawan.
Wayabakwash.
Wayabakwash.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahaw.
Yahaw.
Yapashwa.
Nabash.
Wayabaharwa.
Wayabahol.
Ariai.
Ariai.
Wayakhaparwa.
Wayakhaparwa.
Wayabaru.
Wayabaru.
Wayadairu.
Wayadairu.
Kayata.
Kayata.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahaw.
Yahaw.
Labarka.
Labarka.
Al.
Al.
Yawan.
Yawan.
Al.
Al.
Ka.
Ka.
Aratazah.
Aratazah. This is the Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thou silence, O God.
Keep not thou silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
Be not still, O God.
For lo,
thine
enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee.
Have lifted up the head.
Lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said. Come. And let us cut them off from being a nation.
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Yasharallah may be no more remembered.
That the name of Yasharallah may be no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And the Hagarene.
And the Hagarene.
The Baal.
The Baal.
And Ammon.
And
and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kishon. Which perished at Endor. There became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb. And like Zeh. Yeah. All the princes as the Ba. And as Zalmun. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. All my power. Make them like the wheel. As the stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. Oh Yahweh. Let them be confounded in trouble forever. Yeah. Let them be put to shame and perish. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high, over all the earth.
Pray for the blessings in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Yahweh Shah.
Barakatah Yahweh, Yahweh Shah.
Wama Yaka'al.
Wama Yaka'al.
Wala Hayim.
Wala Hayim.
Matazab Yahal Wap Yahana.
Matazab Yahal Wap Yahana.
Hala Wap Yahana.
Hala Wap.
Hasarayim.
Hasarayim.
Makwata Zayon.
Makwata Zayon.
Makaya Yoyo.
Makaya Yoyo.
Wakwatya.
Wakwatya.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bashim Yahweh Shah.
Bashim Yahweh Shah.
The Aman.
The water Aman. In English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shah. And Mike. And the angels. Commanding General Yohanan. The general. The captain. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you, so be it.
So to the front. Shabi, be seated. Shalom Israel, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, come to the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Latam, Bashim Yahshua to the sisters, where the Isupk, the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, established in 1969, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are led by Commanding General Yohanan. We are not affiliated with any other organization. Israel, pay your tithes, man. Go to isupk.com, make that donation, pay your tithes. Get ready for the Midwest Fire Weekend, August 1st through the 4th in Detroit, man. Get your travel arrangements, your lodging, your hotels, $250 per man. $250 per man for the contribution to make sure that this runs smoothly. You know what I'm saying? We are Isupk Milwaukee Sabbath Service. We are in Genesis chapter 2, verse 19. Where we're going to read in the Hebrew and then the English. Shout out to Showbread. We had 2 full trays here. That it's about to be going in a second. But shout out to Showbread, man. Shout out to Kala for that. Don't clap for yourself. I'm gonna clap for it. The Showbread is fire. You know, part of the tradition of our people going over Sabbath services and our holy days, you know, doing for ourselves, for our own, trying to be self-sustained. Shout out to Strong Coffee too. Strong Coffee, not to be confused with like liquor added with coffee. It's just a very strong cup of coffee is what I'm trying to intimate. So like, wouldn't be wrong either, but just so people don't get it. Yeah,
I mean, either it's like I said, if I may, either way it go. Sometimes a little bit of spirit in the coffee makes it go a long way.
Just in that case, just don't become an avid coffee drinker. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just pump your brakes. Okay. We are in Genesis chapter 2, verse 19 in the Hebrew. Wiyatazar, Yahweh, Elohim, Man, Kadamu, Kal, Chiyat, Hashirah, Wa'ath, Kal, Awak, Hashemayam, Wayabah, Al, Hadam, La Slaki, La Rawath, Maha, good. Ma, Yaquara, Loa, Wakal, Asar, Waquara, it's like Yaquara, Loa, Adam, Napach, Sayat, Hawa, Shamwa, it's like Shamwa, verse 20, Wayaquara, Adam, Shamwa, Lakal, Habahma, Walai Wat, Hashemayam, Walakal, Kayat, Hashira, Wala Adam, La, Mataza, Izar, Karagadwa, verse 21, Wayapal, Yahweh, Elohim, Hardam, Saki, Tharadam, Al, Hardam, Wayayashan, Wakwak, Akath, Matazala Aitiwa, Wayasagar, Bashar, Thakathana, verse 22, Wayaban, Yahweh, Elohim, Ah, Patazalai, Ashar, Laquak, Man, Hadam, La Shah, Wayabaha, Al, Hadam, verse 23, Wayamah, Hadam, Zah, Papain, Aitazam, Maitazamya, Babashar, Babashar, Wala'ath, Slaki, Waza'ath, Yaquara, the Shah, Kaya, Mayash, the Kwaka, Za'ath, verse 24. Khan, Yaib, Slaki, Yaizab, Ayash, Ath, Abiwa, Wa'ath, Amar, Watabak, Bashatwa, Wahaiwa, Labashar, Achad, verse 25. Interesting. Wayahaywa, Shabyaham, Irawamium, Hadam, Shatwa, Slaki, Wala'a, Yatabashashwa. All right, so that's those first seven. That's those first seven in Hebrew. Now we're going to read it back into English. So we are in Genesis chapter 2, verse 19. And out of the ground the Lord formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air and brought them unto Adam to see what he will call them. And whatsoever Adam called them, It's like it. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. Pretty straightforward. Mankind was given dominion over the earth. But to help classify and put labels, people don't like labels, God forbid, you get an identity. Adam was instructed to name, to separate, to identify all the living creatures. Verse 20, and Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him. Verse 21, and the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. Now this is Christianity's failed field goal. They think that this means that a man was literally put to sleep, anesthesia, surgical anesthesia, local anesthesia, however they want to call it, put to sleep. A piece of bone was removed from his rib cage, and then that God formed a woman out of that piece of bone, and then stitched them back up, and that's his wife. We can show you precept upon precept on that concept of rib, bone of my bone, because you're going to see how Adam calls her this, and we can show outside of this instance how we refer to each other on an individual level and how we refer to each other on a national level. And close up the flesh instead thereof. What people miss about that is that this is an anti-interracial marriage scripture. This indicates that Adam was given a woman of his own people, of his own tribe, his own family group, because they did have parents. He was not the first person on earth. We established that last week in earlier in chapter 2 and chapter 1 actually. Close up the flesh instead thereof. That's the cutoff. Now we were given the lesson that we're only supposed to marry within our own family group. Go ahead.
If I could, sir. So this is also where they get the paradigm of which comes first, the egg or the chicken.
Chicken, yeah. Yeah.
Nobody knows who came first, but we know that there was people on this planet before Adam and Eve. Adam was just Adam was just a brother that was in the ghetto, and the Most High gave him the law, statutes, and commandments, right?
I guess back in these times we could say they was in the sticks.
That too.
But yeah, this is the first brother that the Most High chose to deal with,
right?
Amongst all the people that were already alive.
Yeah, because if they was to sit there and pay attention to what we said before, it was seventh day. Sixth day
when man was created. Yeah.
When man was created, and on the seventh day he rested.
And then he instructed Adam.
And then he constructed Adam.
He instructed.
Yeah. Not constructed.
I got you.
Yeah. So these people sitting there believing this other doctrine that they made up themselves are a bunch of hypocrites, phonies, and non-believers, if you would.
There's a whole rabbit hole that will distract you from practical application of the scriptures if you are taught wrong. If you want to know the truth about the Bible, you need to be in the UPK under Commanding General Yahan. Christianity is a lie. Islam is a lie. They are both trash. Islam, I've seen many instances where Islam will beat up on Christianity because of Christianity, not because of the Bible. Islam can beat Christianity in a debate sense, in an argument sense. But then I've seen instances where Christians beat up on Muslims in a debate, format. The Bible has nothing to do with Christianity. This is not a religion. Judaism is trash. All the people that you see running around with them like really like crazy, like really small hats. Their hats are like that big. The people that walk around with them little crazy ass little hats. Judaism is trash. Good. Now we cannot make this another 3-hour video. And that was my fault last time. I'm just heads up.
But no, I just got a question.
Shout out to Showbreak. Go ahead.
So if these so-called Jewish people, fake ones, wearing that, wouldn't that be covering the crown of their head?
That would be while they're reading scriptures.
While they're reading scriptures, wouldn't that make them reading like a woman? Because a woman is supposed to cover her head while she's praying or reading.
That would definitely make them effeminate.
Right.
And disobedient to the Most High.
Right.
Now, and it's something that we can check out. It's something that we can check out. Hey, Shalom Marawan, Yabashim Shabbat. Shout out to Priest and Officer 5000 Maccabia, Minnesota, Twin Cities, man. Y'all need to check them out. Halaswan Kodash. Check out Maccabia classes, man. Y'all definitely want to get in touch with that brother. Shalom Marawan. But yeah, these people that are doing this little thing right up top, correct me if I'm wrong here. And anybody, if you got a scripture for it in the Torah or the Tanakh, let me know. Maybe it's in the Talmud. I don't know. I don't care about that. But show me in the Old Testament then where it gives the instruction of covering and uncovering your head. Because I only read that in the New Testament. And they don't really rock with the New Testament. But that's the only part where I see that. So I'd like to see where that custom comes from.
Yeah, me too. It's a bit confusing.
It's a little weird. It's about as weird as their sideburns.
Yeah.
They got this going on over here, and then they got this going on up top. It don't make no sense to me. So like to the men above me, I don't get it. Good.
Seeing them do that, it kind of makes me feel like they're part of that pride crap.
They are definitely part of the community. They are definitely degenerates, absolutely. And that was shown by the tunnels in New York. That was proven. There are some sick people out there. That's why you need defenders of the faith. Let's not get it twisted. There's wickedness in this world. And the only way it's going to stop is if this kingdom gets overthrown. Otherwise, they're going to continue.
One last thing.
It's stupid, right? But ain't that accurate? Salaki, ain't that accurate? That's weird. Salaki. Good.
One last thing. Again, this book, the Bible itself, is nothing but practical knowledge.
It's practicality, man.
That is why the ISUPK is what it is, because we are teachers of the practical knowledge that needs to be understood.
These instructions will save your life, and that is across the board, because nobody should be addicted to any substance. That's going to lead into their ultimate demise and death, and the decay of your family.
Also, weed is a drug too.
Weed is a drug.
Addicted to.
I don't know if y'all know about that, but marijuana is a drug. All right, let's get back to this. Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Wahanakath Haya Arawam Makal Chayath Hashra Asar Aisha Yahweh Alahayim Wayamah Al Hasha Kaya Amar Alahayim La'a Thakalwa Makal Aitizah Hagan, verse 2. Wathamah Hasha Al Hanakash Maparya Aitizah Hagan Naakal, verse 3. Wamaparya Aitizah Asar Bathwaka Hagan Amor, Alahaim, La'a, Takalwa, Mamanwa, Wala'a, Sagaiwa, Bawa, Pan, Thamthawan, verse 4, Wayamor, Hanakash, Al, Hasha, La'a, Mawath, Mathathawan, verse 5, Kaya, it's like Yadai, Alahaim, Kaya, Baywam, Akalakam, Mamanwa, it's like Mamanwa, yes, like Mamanwa. Manakakwa. Manapakwakwa. Ayan yakam. Wahaya yatham. Ka'ala hayam. Yada'ayya. Tawab. Wara'ai. Verse 6. Wathara'a. Hasha'a. Kaya. Tawab. Haitaza. Lama'akal. Wakaya. Thawa. Hawa. La'ayanyam. Wanakamad. Haitaza. Lahasha Kaya. Wathakwak. Mapayuwa. Wa'akal. It's like it. Wathakal. Wathathanan. It's like it. Wathathan. Gum. La'ayasha. Maiha. It's like it. Aima. Wayakal. It's like it. Wa'akal. That's the end of those 7 in Hebrew. Read it back in English. Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Damn, it's like I forgot to read the rest of verse 2 in English. My fault. Let me just read this in English real quick. Verse 21, and the Lord God, verse 1 and 21, and the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh thereof. So cutting off interracial relations, verse 22. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. So he just took that woman from his family group, presented it to that man. They got hitched. Verse 23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. Keep that phrase in mind. Hold on. Keep that phrase in mind. Bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. That's going to be repeated. You're going to see that contextually on how we address each other as such, as individuals, and how we address each other like individuals as family members, and how we address each other as family, as a nation. And shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. Verse 24. And if we look at that in the Hebrew too, you can see just how the identifying mark came about. It's not that big of a deal. Just that's how we identified the only 2 genders that were out there, but the concept of man and woman, husband and wife, because there's no real word for like. I always get this kind of backwards. You got the term for husband, you got the term for wife, you got the term for man, you got the term for woman. Not to say that they're interchangeable, but outside of that relationship, like you're never going to see like any like middle ground in there. Verse 24, therefore shall the man leave his father and his mother, which indicates that they had the concept of father and mother because they had mothers and fathers. They came from other people. And shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. This is the start of your own family, being that one flesh, being on one accord, one unit, one body. Being a part of one body means you have the same, you're about the same goal, you're about the same agenda. You may have different ideas or desires. Maybe she wants to be a seamstress or a potter or something like that, but he's a hunter-gatherer. They're going to pool their resources and their skill sets together to form one cohesive house. That's that one body. That's that one flesh. Verse 25, and they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. They were just natural. Just natural, doing their thing according to how the Most High, the instruction that the Most High had given them. You had something?
Go ahead, sir. If I could. So my question is, do they believe that when it says he was put to sleep? No, not that. Let me rephrase that. So when he was put to sleep, what does that mean? Like, was he like in the world, or he's
Unaware, not paying attention?
Not paying attention, and the rib was brought upon him
Because he was just working.
in the field.
He was just working. He was a hard-working brother.
Doing the work of the Lord.
Doing the work of the Lord. Doing the work to sustain. He was a husband to the land. So he was maintaining the land. He was taking dominion over the earth.
Yeah.
He wasn't presented with the know-how of being fruitful and multiplying until the Most High had snuck even to the picture.
Right.
And then he understood.
Yeah. So the Christian just using that way of saying that he was under the surgical anesthesia to get the rib.
That's the only explanation I've ever heard from them.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Like I was talking to my grandma the other day, and she said something along the lines of, "That's how Adam and Eve were. They were in the garden." I tried to break it down for her, but I wanted to get a better way of breaking down the Adam and Eve, which is actually good that we're going over.
He was just focused on the job, and then this beautiful tender young thing came across his path.
Yeah.
And now he had to pay attention to him.
She captivated me by the wall.
He was smitten. He was smitten. He did, and that's just the natural attraction of man and woman. That polarized effect that we have on each other. A woman wants a man.
Right. And if I could, when a woman wants a man, she will make it be known.
So let the brother know. So let the brother know.
Yeah.
Just now, as a brother, you got to discern if you're the only eye she's shaking that thing around for. Because she might be trying to cast a wide net. Yeah. Yeah. Like be careful of that.
Yeah. That's why in the UBK we weed out those that only want just that.
Because I mean, there's a lot of women out there in the world. You ain't got to just get a sister that's in the school. If you find a woman that you're attracted to, you're compatible with in the world, that's fine. Just have a very clear understanding. When you marry her, you're marrying her to the school. So now any problems that you got with her that she presents to you, that she agrees you with, that could potentially fall down on us. And now we have to take up that burden with you. Be very take the time, man, brother. Take the time. Sisters, take your time. Make a good choice. Get counsel on the matter if you're not sure. But think it through before you commit to it. Because like in this world, like they can easily just walk away from you whenever they're unhappy with it.
Right.
But that's not how it's supposed to be. Last point?
Yes. And also, brothers, bring the woman that you are intending to marry around higher ranking men so they can get look at
Yeah.
it.
You're
not,
yeah.
And not in the sense of trying to look at it, but trying to get to know her before you marry her to the to the school.
It's a good step to take, man. Like take precautions, push the envelope, get uncomfortable with him. You know, sister, start a fight with the brother just to see how he's gonna react. Brother, start an argument with the sister. And I'm not saying a physical fight. I'm just saying start an argument with them to see how they're gonna react, to see what their resolve is, if they're mentally all there. Because once I don't know if you know this about women, but once they get mad, they don't think the same way as when you first met them, when they were all sweet and bubbly to you. They change up pretty quick. So get that vetted. All right, so we're gonna continue reading in the 7 verses that we started off in chapter 3. So chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which lets you know that there were other beasts of the field. This is a serpent. It's not designated just as a snake. This is a serpent, and it's classified as a beast, but it's the more subtle beast of any other beast in the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, this is the serpent speaking unto the woman, yea, hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? That's a question that he posed to her. And she responds, verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Verse 3. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God had said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. This is a clear instruction that she is well aware of, that the serpent is going to try to use to sabotage her, which is what they do to our sisters today. They try to place them in power. A woman can be a very powerful thing to the Lord and to a husband, to the community, to a family, but not to be the authority. And this is something that these devils had turned against us to destroy our family structure. Verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Like listen, there ain't nothing gonna happen to you. Listen what else he tells it. Verse 5. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. So he's telling her, like, listen, you're gonna gain all this knowledge, you're gonna gain this wisdom, you're gonna see, you're gonna gain life experience, you're gonna see another side of life that the Most High didn't want you to see. And this is gonna make you powerful. That's that term God there. Power, authority. It's gonna make you powerful. Not as like the ruler, not as like the Most High, but it's going to make you powerful, knowing good and evil, as if that's going to give you strength. Not knowing what crack cocaine feels like is a good thing. Just from my time on the earth, man, listen, I envy those that don't know what cigarettes are. I envy those that do not know what Newports taste like, how that hits you. The exhaustion of it and the tax that it takes. I envy those brothers and sisters that don't know what vaping is like, what binge drinking is like, what alcohol poisoning is like, what overdosing and waking up in the ER on a stretcher is like. There's nothing powerful behind that, because you wouldn't have to then be strong against heroin if you never experienced heroin. You could just go throughout your life with not knowing heroin. That is an option. I don't know if people get that part. You cannot know crystal meth. You cannot know Egyptology and run down that rabbit hole too, full of lies. You do got those options. You got that kind of power to not be bothered by everybody else's way of life, because that's what's being introduced here. That serpent is introducing a different way of life to Eve, when she was given clear instruction just to follow this way of life that I gave you from the Most High. Verse 6. When the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, it was attractive, it was inviting, it was temptation, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
She crossed that line first and brought it back home. That experience that she had, she brought it back home, and it poisoned the well. We're going to continue reading Genesis chapter 3, verse 7 in the Hebrew. Wathapakwa kana ayanya sanyaham wayara aiwa kaya ariyo ayaramam ham wayathaparu ayla thana wayaishwa laham Hagar, it's like a Hagarath, verse 8. Wayashamaiwa, Kwawawal, it's like it. Kwawala, it's like it. Kwawal, there we go. Kwawal, Yahweh, Alahayim, Mathahalaka, Bagan, Larawak, Hayawam, Wayathakaba, Slaki, Wayathakaba, Hadam, Washatwa, Mapanya, Yahweh, Alahayim, Mabathwaka, Aitiza, Hagan, verse 9. Wayakwara, Yahweh, Alahayim, Al, Hadam, Wayamar, Loa, Ayaba, it's like Ayaka, verse 10. Wayamar, Kwalaka, Shamaithia, Bagan, Wayara, Kaya, it's like it. Ayaram, Anakia, Wakaba, verse 11. Wayamar, Maya, Hagiyah, Laka, Kaya, Ayaram, Atha, Haman, Haitaza, Ashar, Tazwayathika, Labalathia, Akal, Mamanawa, Akalath, verse 12. Wayamar, Hadam, Hasha, Ashar, Nathathana, it's like it. Not Nathatha, it's like it. Nathatha, Amaria, Hawa, Nathana, Leah, Man, Haitaza. Well, yeah, it's like it. Wild call. It's like it. All right, so verse 13. Well, Ya'amar, Yahweh, Alahayim, Lasha, Ma, Zaath, Ashiyath, Wathamar, Hasha, Hanakash, Hashianya, La'akal. It's like Wa'akal. All right, so that's those 7 in the Hebrew. We're going to go back into the English. Genesis chapter 3, verse 7. And the eyes of them were both open. Now they're aware of what they did, and they knew that they were naked. Now they're aware of what they did. Now they're exposed. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Now they're trying to camouflage. Verse 8. And they heard the voice of the Most High, and they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. They heard the voice of the Most High walking in the garden. Not that the Most High was walking in the garden, because the Most High has never come down on earth like that. But they heard the voice. They heard his presence. His awareness is now fixed on them. They can feel that. You ever feel somebody staring at you? Kala? You ever feel that? Like it's a tangible thing. You can feel somebody staring at you across the room. There's just something about that vibe that gets sent, that signal that gets sent. So now they hear the Most High looking for them, but they try to hide themselves amongst the trees of the garden. Verse 9, and the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? Like, I don't recognize you. Like what's this about? I don't recognize you. Verse 10, and he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. Verse 11, and he said, who told thee that thou wast naked? Who told you that your way of life, that your natural state that I presented you with, that I gave you, that I formed you in, that I saw you in under my instruction, who told you that means you were naked, that you were I want to say marked or set apart, but that your way of life was recognizably different than somebody else's. Kala?
So is it like when these people come to your door, knocking on the door, trying to?
Have you heard the good news?
Right. 7-day Adventist, Daniel, what are they called? Witnesses.
Jehovah's
Witness. Is it like that? So they
with the serpent?
No, so I'm saying, like, in this scenario, so somebody came and he ended up listening to them and their doctrine and took on their doctrine.
Right.
And then now he hears the voice of the Most High and he's like, oh, snap, I'm messed up because I ain't even over there no more. I'm with them. Is that like what's going on now? Would it be like that? He took on a different doctrine and started going on that path.
Not even that he took on a different doctrine. He just tried to camouflage himself with other people by kind of doing what other people would do. If I wanted to hide amongst what was it, Gen X, if I wanted to blend in with them so that I don't stand out, because if you look how I normally dress in comparison to them, for me to blend in, I'd have to now wear skinny jeans with a belt that hang off my behind, in a tight, very short graphic tee. First off, I'm too fat for that. Can't do that. And that's not a masculine look that I'm going for. I don't know what they consider it.
But not okay. So,
but that's just them taking on, just trying to blend in with the rest of the people, so that the Most High can't differentiate them from everybody else.
So pretty much he's like the saying that they have, when in Rome, do what the Romans do.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. When in Rome.
Okay.
But now they let Rome into their home, so it's kind of just reversed. They didn't go out to Rome; they let Rome in. That's a good way to put it, though. Let them in. Just like how you have to invite a vampire in for them to, attack you or harm you, have any strength and power. Yeah, that's kind of that similar effect.
Okay. So.
Good.
I was just watching a video of Muhammad Ali. He was in an interview with this Edomite, and the Edomite said, "Well, what if there's other good white people?"
Right. And his response was like, "Am I gonna wait for like all 1,000 of them to come to the door and try to pick out which one?
That wait for that one snake to come out. 1,000 of them are chasing. No, I'm going to close the door."
Right. Because they're not going to attack each other like that. So if you keep that good snake out, they're going to be fine.
Right.
Listen, other nations, Arabs, Asians, Caucasians, Africans, East Indians, they're going to be just fine having nothing to do with the Bible, not being allowed in our communities. They'll be fine. They've got a whole nation and country that they can go support. That will support them. Well, that's how it should be. I don't think they actually do that, because I hear the poverty and the filth and disgust in India is crazy. They got like 1 billion people, like right there, very compacted. The filth in the streets, the poverty in the streets. That's on them. That's on them.
See the man making bread with his feet.
There you go.
That was disgusting.
There you go. That's their street food. Fine.
They say,
I'll take JC King's over that. And not to say JC King's is like, you know, on that level. JC King's is awesome. If you're on the south side of Milwaukee, JC King's are the Kings. It's in the name. Yeah.
So I seen the video. They said, as long as you don't use your left hand,
because that's when they use the bathroom.
They wipe. They
don't use toilet paper.
Like seeing
that makes
somebody
you want to put hand sanitizer on, man.
I do. Like it's
just right because that's weird.
Here, look.
That's weird. Yeah, just because they're weird like that, I want to put hand sanitizer on.
I wanted to put hand sanitizer.
That's nasty. Man. That's nasty. But that's that people's culture.
Okay.
So we were introduced to things like that, where we were given laws of cleanliness, of dietary, of dress code, of lifestyle, of practices.
Really?
What to do, what not to. We were given what to do. We were given that one thing not to do. Don't go outside of what I told you to do. That simple.
So same parent, when raising this child. Do as I ask you to do, and you won't get messed up.
It's a simple concept. It's easier said than done, I guess, especially nowadays. But you can see that we had a similar affliction back then too. This is why the man needs to be in authority, and why that woman needs to submit to that brother. Why that daughter needs to submit to her father. If the father's not around, you better submit to that older brother. If you're the older sister, then that next man or the uncle, or the oldest cousin, they are in charge, and they need to respect that, because we're the ones that's gonna block that harm that's gonna come through the door. We're gonna be that 5'5", 120-pound dude that's gonna risk his neck to battle hand-to-hand combat, life or death, that 6'5", 250-pound beast. We're gonna do that. That's part of our job. I don't want my woman to have to face that. I don't want the kids to have to face that. That's on us. And that deserves a different kind of respect. Go ahead.
My thing is this. I just talked to my niece. You know what my niece said to me?
What'd she say?
Why are y'all so strict? Because we are training ourselves to protect who is weak.
And we know what's out there.
Right. We know what's out there, what's to come. So we protect y'all from the stuff that's going to try to harm you. We would rather get ourselves harmed in protecting you than letting you get harmed yourself.
And for us, it's a pretty even trade. Let that next generation live. Let them grow. Let them be safe.
Right.
Let them be safe. We'll take on that hard shit. We'll combat that, and through the process, we're going to teach our young ones to combat it too, so that if they were ever confronted with it, because again, in this day and age, public schools, you know, a parent will get into a lot of trouble if you don't send your kid to school. And if at the very least, if you're not homeschooling them under the same curriculum that's given, that's like the same standard of the public school system, you're gonna get in trouble for that too.
Yeah, there was a brother that was homeschooling his child, and the ways of how to be in the world, you know what I'm saying, knew more about the world's way of running than they were teaching the schools.
Yep.
But he got a lot of what's the word for it? He got a lot of hate because of the way he raised his kid. His kid knew she had gun training, she had knowledge of the justice system, she had knowledge of the laws, she had knowledge of everything that could be possibly taught by her parents, better than the public school system.
Oh.
See, the thing is, we need to start opening up our own schools for our children. The Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The Israelite brothers should be opening up a school for these kids.
There is a right and a wrong way to go about things, and the Lord had given us a blueprint to do it right. and he showed us what's going to happen to us if we do it wrong. Let's continue here. Verse 11, and he said, who told thee that thou was naked? Like, who told you your way of life was, good, bad, different? They wouldn't have known otherwise if somebody didn't try to present their way of life to them. Right. Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? Like, did you go and go check that out? Did you get so close to them as to interact with them to see the difference between y'all and to get that influence too? Verse 12, and the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. So she came back home with that. Verse 13, and the Lord God said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. She got tricked. That's why the woman needs a cover. The woman needs a head. She shouldn't just be let out into the world, into the wild, loose like that.
None of this 50-50 relationship.
Yeah, nothing. This was never meant to be an egalitarian society. Never. And that goes across the board for all the other nations. Keep your customs. That's fine. Keep your identity. Everybody's going to serve the Most High at the end of the day. Zeus does not exist. Loki don't exist.
Right.
Hades isn't real. Osiris is trash. Allah is trash. Muhammad was a weirdo. Everybody's going to serve the Most High under Christ, under the authority of Israel. That's just how it needs. That's how it needs to be. If you want to stop human trafficking, if you want to stop the drug cartels, if you want to stop gang violence, if you want to stop sexual assault, if you want to stop any kind of molestation, this world needs to be governed under the Most High in Christ, with Israel at the helm as the judiciary authoritarian system. Let's keep reading. Chapter 3 in the Hebrew, Genesis chapter 3, verse 14. Well, Yahmar, Yahweh, Alahai, Al, Hanakash, Kaya, Aishiah, Za'af. Arawar, Atha, Makal, Abahma, Wamakal, Khayat, Hashira, Al, Gachana, Salaka, Waipa, Thakal, Kal, Yamya, Khayayaka. Verse 15. Wa'ayaba, Ashiyah, Bayanaka, Wabian, Hasha, Wabian, Zaraika, Wabian, Zaraiha, Hawa, Yeshawapaka, Slaki, Yeshawapaka, Ra'ash, Watha, the Shawapanya, Slaki, the Shawapanwa, Aqua, verse 16, Al, Hasha, Amar, Harba, Araba, Itazabawanyaka, Itazabawanaka, Waharanika, Baitazab, Thaladia, Banyam, Wa'al, Ayashika. It's like Ayashak. Shatawa Kush Slaki. Tashawa Kuthak. Wahawa. Yamashal. Baka. Verse 17. Wala Adam, Amar, Kaya, Shamaita. It's like Shamaita. La Quavo, Ashita, Wathako, Man, Haitaza, Ashar, Tazayathika, La Mar, La A, Thako, Mamanwa, Arawara. It's like it. Arawara. Hadama. By Bawaraka. By Tazabawan. Thakalana. Call. Yamya. Kayayaka. Verse 18. Wakwa what slake. Wakwa would slake. Wakwa what desire. What our radar. The Tazmayak. Laka. Good. Where was I? Wakala. Aisha. Hashaba. It's like a Hashira. Verse 19. Bazaith. Paika. Tako. Lacham. Ay. Shawabaka. Oh. Hadam. Kaya. Mamana. La Kukat. Kaya. Ipa. Atha. Wa'al. Ipa. Tashwa. Verse 20. It's like it. Yeah, so. All right, verse 20. Wayakwara. Hadam. Sham. Shatawa. Kawa. Kaya. Hawa. Hayatha. Ka. Kaya. That's those 7 in Hebrew. We're going to read it back in English. Genesis chapter 3, verse 14. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. Now, this is just the consequences of his actions. Let me explain. It's not that he was given a law to stay away from these people. The Most High wasn't dealing with them. The Most High gave us a law to stay away from everybody else in their way of life. But because of what he did, the effect that it now has, like if just imagine you going through life not knowing anything outside of that little gated community that you were born into, that was protected, that was safe, it was sound, it was natural to you, it was clean, it was pure. And then somebody comes in with something as defilable as the concept of adultery or the drugs. Let's just kind of use that as the analogy here. Somebody came to you with a pack of cigarettes. Now you've experienced that. Now your family has experienced that. They see you doing that. has an effect on them too. Now, everybody, Kala, good? It's like, just, it's a lot. So now everybody has witnessed you doing that. Now it has an effect, as a residual effect on your family, on your house, on your reputation. Now that's going to follow you going forward. What they did now affects their way of life too, because now they curse. Now they going to be, how do you say, get it how you live, doing dirt to survive. You hear that concept a lot amongst, a lot in our community, but it also exists in their way of life. It's like, what's your point? It exists in their way of life too, because now that's how they have to operate. They have to operate that way now. They can't just do honest business. They can't just have a how would I say it? They can't just do good business with people. They can't have a good faith interaction. They are that subtile beast. And we talking that spirit that lives today is embodied in the so-called white man and the Caucasians. Look at how they interact with everybody. Look at their dealings with everybody. We're not talking about your individuals, your little shopkeepers, little dude that does your lawn, little Susie homemaker, old girl selling some Girl Scout cookies. We're not talking about individuals. But if you look at them as a whole, as a people, this is how they deal with the other nations. Just look at how they deal with the other nations. They are also beasts of the field too. So now the way that they have to operate amongst each other, it's very it's very 007-ish. Like everybody's got a hidden agenda. You can't just do good business. You can't just have a good faith interaction. Verse Verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. You're going to see this manifest later on with Jacob and Esau. Jacob was Rebekah's preferred son, whereas Esau was Isaac's preferred son. So it's just kind of talking about the relationship that they had. A woman does not carry seed. The Bartholin gland is stupid. Polite, who is in the basement of a jail, buried next to his father, at least for I think like the next 4 to 7 years or something like that, for his similar crimes that his spiritual father Malachi had committed. His wife said something very stupid, very, very immature, very ignorant, very naive, to try to disrupt the natural use of a man and woman. And she was proven wrong by Captain Tazaria. A woman does not carry seed of her own. That seed gets implanted in her. But it's just talking about that relationship between that woman and the child. It's like in verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So people try to use this as an argument, saying, well, see, prior to that, the woman didn't rely on the husband. It wasn't under the husband's authority. They were equal. They were partners. It was never like that. But now that woman is going to listen to the man, and they're going to be put into, how would I say, that natural subjection to her husband is going to be amplified. They are not equipped to go toe to toe with this world. You need your man for that. And because of what that woman had done, labor pains, the concern over a safe pregnancy. Yeah, you're gonna be that much more paranoid, and physically, it's gonna be that much more taxing because of her actions, intermingling with these other people. That just set a whole new course for our family, for mankind. Because after the flood, the descendants of Adam were the only ones that survived through Noah. Verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of the wife, because you listened to your woman when I told you to do, when I gave you an order, and then your woman gave you something else that you listened to. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. We end up having to work so much harder to survive, just to barely get by. You see other nations working very hard too. Now, in their own economies, in China, if there's poverty there and they're working, they're straining themselves, they're working on 90, 100-hour weeks. That's because of them and they people. We working under a different rulership. Our people are not in authority. Our people are not ruling that we have to slave under. We are slaving under an oppressor, under a colonizer, to serve other nations. So no matter how much we work, and again, I'm not talking about your exceptions, people that made it, that financially are secured because of their business dealings, whatever, entrepreneurs, inventors, college graduates, CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. I'm not talking about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that are doing financially well because of their ability to succeed as individuals. We're talking about our inability to succeed as a nation. We're not individuals here. We're counting everybody together. We ain't leaving nobody behind. Verse 18, thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. We live on the bottom tier. We live below our means to survive. But we live, and we thrive there still. Despite all of the odds against us, despite the problems that we've made for ourselves. As a people, we still survive. And we still make a show of it too. Like you almost got in America, man, you got like poverty is almost a trend. It's a weird dichotomy. Verse 19. In the sweat of the day, it's like it. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return unto the ground. For out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt thou return. You're gonna work until you die under this kingdom. You're gonna work until you goddamn die. It's hard, especially nowadays, which lets you know we're coming close to the end. Like even the people that rule this country, even their subordinates, their own kind, they can't even enjoy retirement. They can't enjoy their 401k. They got to work until 70, 80, 90 years old if they live that long. They got to work until they die. That's how you know this system is about to crash real soon, and it has to for the world to survive this. Verse 20. And Adam called his wife's name Eve because she was the mother of all living. Now, again, a lot of people are going to say that that's the reason why that explains Adam and Eve being the only two people on earth. Eve is only the mother of all the living because of that breath of life that was given to Adam that he gave to her, that she was instructed with. That breath of life, the law, statutes, commandments. So that's those 7 in English. We're going to get back into the Hebrew. Genesis chapter 3, verse 21. ويا إشاء يهوى على لآدم ولا شاتوا Kathanawa. Ayah, Salaki. Ayawa. Wayallah Basham. Verse 22. Wayah Yahweh Alahayim. Han. Hadam. Hayah. Ka'akad. Mamana. Ladai. Tawa. Warai. Waitha. Pan. Yashalak. Yadawa. Yalakwak. Gum. Maitazak. Hakayayam. Wa'akal. Wakaya. It's like a wakaya. La'ailam. Verse 23. Waya shalachwa. Waya shalachawa. Yahweh. Alahayim. Magan. Iran. Laibad. Ath. Hadam. Ashar. Laquak. Masham. Verse 24. Wayagarash. Ath. Hadam. Wayashakan. It's like Wayashakan. Makwaram. It's like it. Makwaram. Lagan. Aidan. Ath. Hakarabium. Wa'ath. Lahat. Hacharab. Hamat Hapaka. La Shemar. Ath. Ath. Daraka. Aitazah. Hakayayam. Chapter 4, verse 1. Wahadam. Yadai. Ath. Kawa. Ashatawa. Wathaha. Wathalaka. Ath. Kwayan. Wathamar. Kwanayathia. Ayash. Ath. Yahweh. Verse 2. Wathasa. La Ladath. Ath. Akiyawa. Ath. Habal. Wayahaya. Habal. Raiha. Tazaan. Wakwayan. Haya. Iba. Adam. Verse 3. Wayahaya. Makwataza. Yamayam. Wayaba. Kwayan. Maparya. Hadam. Manakah. La Yahweh. So that's those 7 in Hebrew. Getting back into the English. Genesis chapter 3. We're verse 21. It's like, yeah, my fault. Chapter 3, verse 21. Unto Adam also and to his wife did the Lord God make coats of skins and clothe them. So now, again, he's trying to gird up their, trying to fortify their way of life, trying to let them know, like, listen, like putting tighter restraints on them. This is your identity. This, not them fig leaves, this. So now we're going to make sure that you're separate from everybody else. Verse 22, and the Lord God said, behold, the man is become as one of us to know good and evil. And now lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. That tree of life, that's a different breakdown that we're going to have to get into later. But it's not that man has become a god. Just now he has that knowledge beyond that border that was given him. The same thing that happened to Eve, that affected Adam, that gets them kicked out of the garden, that affects their way of life forever at this point now. Verse 23, therefore the Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. Verse 24, so he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims and a flaming sword, which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. So that now, like, we can't corrupt that either. It's a safety mechanism, a security measure, so that we don't, how would I say it, poison the well further. Verse 4, chapter 4, verse 1. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. Verse 2, and she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Abel was a shepherd, Cain was a farmer. Verse 3, and in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. That's those 7 real quick. We're going to jump back into the Hebrew. Genesis chapter 4, verse 4. Wahabo, Habya, Gam, Hawa, Mabakarwa, Tazanwa, Wamakal Bahan. It's like Wamakal Bahan. Wa Yashai, Yahaw, All, Habal, Wahal. It's like it. Wa all. Hanakathawa, verse 5. Wa all. Kwayan. Wa all. Manakathawa, La'a, Aisha, Wa Yakha, La Kwayan, Ma'a. It's like Ma'a. Waya Palwa, Panyawa, verse 6. Waya Amar, Yahweh, Oh, Kwayan, Lama, Khara, Laka, Walama, Panlawa, Panyaka, verse 7. Halawa, Wayatwa, Asha, Slaki, Sha'ath, Wa'am, La'a, Thayatwa, La Pathak, Khata'ath, Rabatazah, Wa'al Yakar, the Shawakwathawa, Wathawa, it's like the Watha, Tamashal, Bawa, verse 8. Wayamar, Kwayan, Al Haba Achiwa wa Yahya Bahai Watam Bashira wa Yaquam Kwayan Al Haba Achiwa wa Yaharagahwa. Verse 9. Wa Yamar Yahweh Al Kwayan Ayah Haba Achyaka wa Yamar La'ah Yadaithya Hashama Achia Anakia. Verse 10. Wa Yamar Maha Ashayath Slaki Aishayath Kowo Damiyah Achyaka Tazai Koyam Aliyah Man Hadam. So that's those 7. We're going to read it back into the English. Genesis chapter 4, verse 4. And Abel verse 4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof, and the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. Verse 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. Both of them gave an offering. The Most High had a preference. Cain had a negative reaction to the Most High's preference. Verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? He wasn't blaming, like he didn't have nothing against Cain for the offering. He just preferred Abel's offering. The Most High is allowed to have a preference, I believe, right? Verse 7. If thou do well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. I'm trying to let him know, like, listen, whether you could have put more effort into it, or if you knew me, you would have given me a better offering. Doesn't make you a bad person. Don't take it the wrong way, and don't let that rule over you now. Don't let that regret or that that sadness, that anger that you feel over your offering not being accepted turn you to the dark side, for lack of a better term. But don't let that be the ruling factor over you now. Because a lot of us, with failure comes, again, a negative adverse reaction to it. Of course, nobody wants to fail at something. You can't win them all. But if you knew more about the power that you were serving, your efforts and your sacrifices, your offerings are going to be that much greater, because you're going to know that it goes in line with the Most High. You're going to know that it honors your people, that it gives y'all a good reputation. It speaks well of you as a family, as a house. Learn from that if you fail at it, and just do better. A lot of times that effort, no matter, like, you might not be the best at this, that, or the third, but your effort, the effort that you put in behind it, shows at least that interest and your intention behind it. So don't let that shake you. Don't let that, make you lose hope, like, and let your countenance fall, like what happened with Cain here. Verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel and his brother and slew him. So he unalived them, because he felt he was having a pity party, more or less. He was having a pity party, was mad that his offering wasn't respected, wasn't preferred by the Most High, and took it out on his brother instead of just doing better the next time around. Now he don't get a next time around. Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I thy brother's keeper? Am I my brother's keeper? Now that phrase right there is something that a lot of fake Israelite groups tend to use, like, I am my brother's keeper. He was saying that in a very mocking manner. You know what I'm saying? Like how am I supposed to keep track of this? He's not my responsibility. I that's not my job. I'm a tiller of the ground. Go basically, go talk to the manager about it. Like he's trying to wash his hands of it after he just got him dirty. Verse 10, and he said, what hast thou done? Thy voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. He knows that there's something wrong going on here. Like he's very aware of it. Like you can't hide nothing from the Most High. The violence that was exhibited to Abel speaks volumes. Again, the intention behind it, the maliciousness, the anger, the pitifulness that Cain had taken this action up against his brother with. It's the tension in the room. You could cut it with a knife, kind of scenario. Like it's very apparent what took place. All right, so that's those 10. So we're gonna be reading 11, 12. We're gonna be reading from 11 through 18 now, just to finish this. These sets off with. So back into the Hebrew, Genesis chapter 4, verse 11. Why thought our reward a thought man hadam a saw patazatha ah paya la kuka ah damia Achiaka, Mayarika, verse 12, Kaya, Thaibar, Hadam, La'ah, Thasa, Thaf, Kaka, Laka, Naai, Wana, Thahayaha, Ba'arataza. Verse 13. Wayamar, Koyan, Al, Yahweh, God of War, Iwanya, Manashah. Verse 14. Han, Garashath, Athia, Hayawam, Ma'ai, Panya, Hadam, Wamapanyika, Asatar, Wahayayathia, Naai, Wanad, Ba'arataza, Wahaya, Kal, Matazaya, Yaharaganya, verse 15. Wayamar, Lawa, Yahweh, Lakan, Kal, Harag, Kwayan, Shabaitium, Yaquam, Wayasham, Yahweh, Lakwayan, Awath, Labalathia, Hakuath, Athwa, Kal, Matazawa, verse 16. Wayat Tazaa, Kwayan, Malapanya, Yahweh, Wayabash, Ba'arataza, Kawad, it's like it. Nawad, Quadamath, Ayran, verse 17. Wayad, it's like it. Wayarai, Kwayan, Ashatwa, Wathaha, Wathalaka, Khanawka, Wayahaya, Bana, Ayah, Wayakwara, Sham, Haya, Kasham, Banwa, Khanuka, Saki, Khanuka, verse 18. Wayawala, Lakhanuka, Ayara, Wa Ayara, Yalad, Makawayaka, it's like it. Makawaya, Wamakayaya, Yalad, Mathawasha, Wamathawasha, it's like it. Wamathawasha, Wala, Lamaka. All right, that's the end of those 7 in Hebrew. Going back into the English, Genesis chapter 4, verse 11. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand, which should also give indication that the Most High does not, like, he's not about, human sacrifice. We'll get into the meaning and understanding of Yahweh's sacrifice and the animal sacrifices as we go on. But this should let you know that the Most High doesn't like the shedding of innocent blood. And he's letting them know, like, listen, what you did, like, this is about to affect, everything that you know. You're like, your world is about to change. These are the consequences to your actions. There's consequences and repercussions. Verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. That's why they got to GMO everything. You can't find, like, it's hard to find, like, heirloom seeds. They need to manipulate their food sources, their work. It's not just like the tilling of the ground of the field. It's whatever means pretty much that they're gonna use to sustain themselves. It says, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. They gotta till, like, like every stitch that they can get their hands on. If you look at their farming structure, how many acres of land that they need to try to produce food to sustain their societies, and how it fails them, how they always gotta clone seeds, they gotta genetically modify the seeds, the animals, pretty much any industry that they go into, like plastics, textile industry, like it's a convenient thing to have because of what we're capable of doing with it. But look at the pollution that it causes. Look at the negative effect that it has. This whole system could be better. We could still have plastics and everything in these industries without the negative effect, without the pollution, without the the poison that it causes, the damage that it does. We can have this without that. It's just not done sustainably. They're not getting the strength from it. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. They ain't accepted nowhere. Everybody knows them as an enemy. Everybody, all their interaction with every group of people. Look what Elon Musk did. Look what Elon Musk did with that Amazonian tribe. Look what he did there. They are not allowed to roam the earth unchecked. But they've gained their power, they gained their strength off of the dirt that they did to have to survive because of their choices. I don't want to say just because of their nature, but you know what the Lord made crooked, you can't set straight. This is them. This is the spirit that's on them. And we're seeing the root of it. We're seeing their behavior, or we can track it all the way back. Verse 13, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Don't want to do the time, don't do the crime. Now he's complaining about his choice of actions and the punishment that comes with it. Verse 14, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. So now if it was just Cain, Abel, Adam and Eve, who's all these other people that he's worried about that's going to kill him? And he just got done, unaliving his brother. I'm sure he ain't worried about his mom in a street fight. He might be afraid of his father, but he's talking about all those that find him shall slain. That's indicative of there being more people on earth that heard of this, that see a murderer now. Verse 15, and the Lord said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. So he gave Cain a different appearance that set him apart from everybody else, so that they know good and well not to mess with this man. Vengeance is of the Lord. They're not supposed to take up arms against him. The Most High had given him a judgment that follows them to this very day. Verse 16, and Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. That's another indicator that there were other people there already, because now there's a city that was already named, that's established, that he traveled to. Verse 17, and Cain knew his wife that he traveled to meet a woman. And Cain knew his wife. And she conceived and bare Enoch, and he builded a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. So now, two people ain't just going to build the city by themselves.
Right.
It gives just an overview on how this place came to be. Cain traveled to another city that was already established, met this woman. They got together. That she became his wife, because a lot of people are going to say now that this only could have been his sister, or it had to be his mother. He did not marry his mother. Well, what's that one movie back in the day? The Stupids. I am my own grandpa. Like it doesn't work like that. Let me finish this last verse real quick. Verse 18. And unto Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begot Mahaviel, and Mahaviel begat Methuselah, and Methuselah begat Lamech. And I was just going over the generations of Cain and a brief history of his separation from Adam, because in a little bit we're going to get into Seth. After Adam and Eve had another son, Seth. But all like this whole story right here, it traces back that spirit from the serpent to Cain, and we're going to see how it's on Esau as well. And we're gonna be able to trace back who Esau is according to the Bible, according to history, because they also know who they are. And how there were more people on the face of the earth besides Adam and Eve for all these next steps to have been able to take place. Kala?
I was going to say, even like the other people that sit there and talk about the Bible and say they can't marry his sister or his mother, there is strict laws against incestation. You know what I'm saying?
You say incestation?
Incestation.
Incestation?
Like having intercourse with your family.
Well, I mean, I know incest. I just never heard it presented that way. Incestation. Listen, it's a new vocabulary word.
New word, right?
We got a new word.
But it's like an infestation, but it's an incestation.
Got you.
Yeah, so it's strict laws against going with your family members, your immediate family members. So it's saying, they're saying like him having intercourse with his mother or his sister is going against the ways of the Most High anyway.
Right.
Because if Adam and Eve was given the law, statutes, and commandments, he was given the breath of life, right? Then that means that all laws, even the Levitical laws, was instilled in him. So he must have taught this to his children. And they now know the law.
I mean, yeah, we can't say Levitical law.
Right. But at the time, the breath of life itself.
Right.
And so they know that if you was to go ahead and sleep with your mom, it's sin. Right?
And there were punishments that were associated with that the Most High didn't establish here as such. Because the whole point of it was to not do it. So that you didn't have to suffer consequences. Don't smoke cigarettes so that you don't run the risk of getting lung cancer or esophageal cancer or emphysema, bronchitis.
Right.
Like there's causes and effects. Don't become a raging alcoholic so that your liver doesn't explode on you and kidneys don't fail. Don't run the risk of it. If you don't do it, chances are you're not going to be conflicted with it. There's 1 + 1 still equals 2 somewhere. Go ahead.
I was always told this by my father and my mother. There's consequences behind everything you do, good or bad. If you do something bad will happen to you. If
Absolutely.
you continue to do something good things will happen to you. You know?
There are such things as good consequences. Just because that word consequence doesn't mean it always has to have a negative effect. Like there are positive consequences. So, that word is just the result of your actions. Go ahead.
So my father, he the way he broke it down for me, because I was confused with the consequence thing. Like, hold on, you mean consequence? I'm gonna get punished for doing something good? He was like, no. So in the sense of you doing something good, say you stop somebody from stealing, you may get a reward for it. But it's not always going to be that way. The more good stuff you do, the better what did he say? The better your reward, or the better the consequence behind going the good way instead of being bad.
Right.
Because if you be bad, you'll be like everybody else out on the street, not knowing the right way to go. My father be dropping jewels like it was crazy. And even though he didn't go by the Bible, he still gave like right and wrong, because that's how he was raised by my grandfather.
There we go.
My grandfather knew who he was. You know what I'm saying?
And that's something that we're bringing back. It's to the masses. You got some individuals that know their lineage and what their history is, that just kind of keep it to themselves, and they don't have the ability or the network, that body to really push the truth to the masses.
Right.
That's why the Most High had set up the UPK, starting with Abba Bivens, the 7 heads, and left to the the burden and responsibility left to Commanding General Yahan?
My grandfather, he may not have been like a traditional Native American, being raised on the res and speaking the broken Hebrew,
right?
The Native American language, as these people call it. But he knew who he was because of how his father taught him. So he raised my father to be the same way he was. You know, I mean, the scriptures say, raise up the little ones in the right way to go. Maybe paraphrasing.
And that they should not depart from it. You give them the proper understanding from it, and you keep pushing that.
Right.
Like you can't give them the option of celebrating Christmas. They should never know about that. Birthdays, New Year's, 4th of July coming up.
Yeah, my father was. He said my father told me that growing up, his father didn't allow him to celebrate birthdays and pagan holidays.
And it should just be instilled in us to not care about it.
Right.
It's not that cool of a thing. It's not that special. We can tell you from personal experience that you ain't got to find out yourself. It's not that you're not missing out on anything.
Right. I mean, anything you get on Christmas and all the other pagan holidays, you can get every day of the year. I mean, why do you have to?
God forbid you don't celebrate somebody's individual day of birth, and now all of a sudden you're not the best friend no more because you didn't say happy birthday to me. You didn't sing the song.
That's happened to me before. I walked in and I just sat down because I don't celebrate my birthday. I never celebrate. One, because even though my mom and them wanted to celebrate, nobody ever showed up.
Right.
So I never cared about it. And in doing so, I never cared about anybody else's. I didn't care. I don't care what day you was born and how you celebrate. It's just another day. So I came in one day and my friend was like, "You ain't gonna say happy birthday to me?" Oh, you're bad.
Look how offended they get by it.
Right. You just don't come in on my day.
And
so it's your day.
Yeah. So now, if you know the history behind that, I don't care. If you know the history behind it, maybe you have a different perspective of it. With that, we are going to end with the prayers. Amadium. On Yakudam, turn to face the east. It's the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. You can find it in Matthew chapter 6, verse 8 through 13. Abanawu. Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Fadash. Hayah. Shamka.
Yahweh.
Malakuska. Tabaa. Ratazaka. Ayah. Aisha. Barataza. Kawa. Ayah. Bashamayim. Latandanawu. Lakum. Ka. Yawam. Wasalakanawu. Kabuwathanawu. Kabuwathanawu. Wala. Tabiyanawu. Banasawan. Abal. Awshanawu. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Wa'ala. Wahata Parak. Lawalami.
Aman. In English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us. From evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be.
Pray for the Hakak, the power in Hebrew. Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Baba Kusha. Latandanawu. Hakak. Larapa'ah. Kal Makalat. Wakal Madawa. Hakak. Latahar. Hamatazaraim. Hakak. Lahakwi. Amathia. Hakak. Arawakak. Hatama'ala. Lagarshan. Bashim Yahushua. The water Aman. In English,
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh, please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness.
Power to heal all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the leper.
Power to cleanse the leper.
The power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean spirits.
Cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank
you, so be.
Thank you, so be. Brother bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Barak Lanau.
Barak Lanau.
Wayashal.
Wayashal.
Wahabayat.
Wahabayat.
Sapari.
Sapari.
Barak.
Barak.
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Tawad Aman.
Tawad Aman. In English, Lord, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Yashral.
And Yashal.
And the school.
And the school.
In the name of Yahweh
In the name
Shai.
of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you, so be.
Thank you, so be. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha.
Asha.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahahari.
Ahahari.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Yabaha.
Yabaha.
Azari.
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 Ma'ain.
Ma'ain.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Baraktaza.
Baraktaza.
Ayatan.
Ayatan.
Lamawa.
Lamawa.
Galka.
Regalka.
Ayanawam.
Ayanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'a.
La'a.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yayishan.
Yayishan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yashal.
Yashral.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Aliyah.
Aliyah.
Yamyaka.
Yamyaka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Bashmash.
Bashmash.
La'a.
It's like
La'a.
La'a.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayara.
Wayara.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Makal Ra.
Mukal Ra.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Atnapash.
Atnapash.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Tazat.
Tazat.
Wabuwak.
Wabawak.
Maita.
Maita.
Wa'ad.
Wa'ad.
Awulam.
Awulam. In English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hill.
I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Yasharallah
he that keepeth Yasharallah
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy
He
soul.
shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going
The
out
Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming
and
in
thy coming in.
from this time
From
forth
this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Aldam Yalaka.
Adam Yalaka.
Al Takarash.
Al Takarash.
Wal Tashakwa.
Wal Tashakwa.
All.
All.
Kayahana.
Kiyahana.
Awadika.
Awadi.
Yahami Yawan.
Yahami Yawan.
Wamashanayika.
Wamashanayaka.
Sha'awa Ra'ash.
Sha'ara Ra'ash.
Al-Aimaka.
Al-Aimaka.
Ya'arayamu.
Yairayamu.
Sawa.
Sawa.
Wayathaya Aitazawa.
Wayata.
Wayathaya Aitazawa.
Wayata.
Thaya Aitazawa.
Thaya Aitazawa.
Altazapawanyika.
Altazapawanyika.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakidam.
Wanakakidam.
Magawi.
Magaya.
Wala Ayazakar.
Wala Ayazakar.
Shamya Sha'ala.
Shamya Sha'ala.
Awa.
Iwa.
Kaya Nawa Aitazawa.
Kaya Iwa.
Kaya
Kaya.
Nawa Aitazawa.
Now what Antazawa?
Lab.
Lab.
Yakadwa.
Yakad.
Ayika.
Ayika.
Baryat.
Baryat.
Yakarathwa.
Yakarathwa.
Ahalia.
Ahali.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Waya Shemai Alayam.
Waya Shemai Aliyam.
Mawaba.
Mawaba.
Wahagari.
Wahagari.
The ball.
The ball.
Wamawan.
Wamawan.
Wamalat.
Wamalat.
Palashat.
Palashat.
Amishabi.
Amishabi.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Damashawar.
Damashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Imam.
Aywa.
Aywa.
Zarwat.
Zarwat.
Labanya Lawat.
Labanya Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha Laham.
Aisha Laham.
Kamarian.
Kamari.
Kayasa Katslaki. Kasaya Sara'a.
Kasaya Sarah.
Kayabian.
Kayabi.
Banakal.
Banakal.
Koyashwan.
Koyashwan.
Nashamaru.
Nashamaru.
Bayanda Aru.
Bayanda Aru.
Aywa.
Haywa.
Daman.
Daman.
Ladama.
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 Shayatamu.
Shayatamu.
Nadaya Mawa.
Nadaya Mawa.
Kairab.
Kairab.
Wakazaba.
Wakazaba.
Wakazabat.
Wakazabat.
Wakazal Manai.
Wakatazal Manai.
Call Nasai Kamu.
Call Nasai Kamu.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Marwa.
Amarwa.
Naya Rashad.
Naya Rashad.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Nawa.
Nawa.
Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Shayatamu.
Shayatamu.
Kagalgala.
Kadogala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanya Rawaka.
Lapanya Rabaka.
Kaash.
Kaash.
Tabaira.
Tabaira. Yaira.
Wakasaka. Wakalahaba.
Wakalahaba.
Talahat.
Talahat.
Karyam.
Karyam.
Kantaradama.
Kantaradama.
Basairika.
Basairika.
Wabasa Wapathka.
Wabasa Wapathka.
Tabalaham.
Tabalaham.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Kualawan.
Kualawan.
Wayabakwashu.
Wayabakwashu.
Shamkat.
Shamkat.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Wayabaharwa.
Wayabaharwa.
Adiyai.
Adiyai.
Wayakaparwa.
Kayaparwa.
Wayakaparwa.
Wayakaparwa.
Wayabarwa.
Wayabarwa.
It's like Wayadaiwa.
Wayadaiwa.
Kayatha.
Kayatha.
Shamkat.
Shamkat.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Labarka.
Labarka.
Ayuwan.
Ayuwan.
Al.
Al.
Kal.
Kal.
Arataza.
Arataza. In English, keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
God.
For lo,
thine
enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said. Come. And let us cut them off from being a nation.
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Yasharallah may know. That the name of Yasharallah.
That the name of Yasharallah
may be no more remembered.
May be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And Hagarine.
And Hagarine.
Gabal. And Ammon.
And
Amalek.
Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur is also joined with them.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kison.
The brook of Kison.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make the nobles like Oreb.
And like Zeed.
Like Zeed.
Yea.
Yea.
All the princes at Sabah.
All the princes at Sabah.
And at Zalmun.
And at Zalmun.
Who said, let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
The house of Yahweh in possession.
Oh my power.
Oh my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
And as the flame set the mountains on fire.
As the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
Make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill the faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
They may seek thy name.
Oh Yahweh.
Oh Yahweh.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
To be confounded in trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame and perish.
Let them be put to shame and perish.
That men may know that thou.
Men may know that thou.
Whose name alone is Yahweh.
Whose name alone is Yahweh.
Art the most high.
Art the most high.
Over all the earth.
Over all the earth. Pray for the blessings. In Hebrew, Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shah.
Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shah. Wama yakala.
Wala hayy.
Wala hayy.
Matazab Yahal Wap Yahana.
Matazab Yahal ala Wap Yahana. Ala Wap.
Hasaranya.
Hasaranya.
Akwatazayanya.
Akwatazayanya.
Kaya Yaya.
Kaya Yaya.
Hakwati.
Wakwati.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bashim Yahweh Shah.
Bashim Yahweh Shah.
Tawara
Aman. English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohanan.
And the General Yohanan.
The generals.
The general.
The captain.
The captain.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
Is the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against
that
us.
Speak against us.
The prophets.
The
the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel, that refuse to give to the school, force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary, send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and their nations and their drug dealers, the court system, prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Posse Comitatus, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, National Space Program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airways, the cable access channels, the radio channels, convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your word through the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro. Through the earth to consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief. And the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all. That is the angels that have done it. Cause them to be spread through the media. Throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake it thy coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you always. So be it.
So out to the front. That concludes Sabbath service. Shalom. Pay your tithe.